Claude has improved their skill creator skill. So this is a skill that helps you write skills. Let me show you what that means. Over in Claude, in the Customize tab over here, you can select skills, and then we've got examples that are built into Claude. So I've created a couple skills of my own up here, but then we've got example skills like algorithmic art, and then this skill creator. This skill creator is what has been updated now by Claude. It includes this markdown file, which is basically the instructions for the skill. And that's over here. You can read all about it in this little block that goes way down here because there's a ton of stuff here. They updated this, and it's also available as a plugin for Claude Code and within our repo. So you can actually open up the raw data for this over here on GitHub, and you can see that here the references, the schemas, all the information for this, including this skill.md file, are available. This is open source on GitHub. Okay, so if you want to create your own skills, you can actually use the skill creator inside of a new chat to do that. So to do that, you would just come in here and you would just say something like, please create a skill for me that writes great social media posts when I give it the transcript from one of my YouTube videos. And so you hit enter on this, and it's going to say right up here, it should say using the skill maker. So it's gathering my thoughts, be right there. Reading skill creator instructions. So that's exactly what we expected to happen. So now when it has context and it sees that we want to use a skill, especially when I've said it pretty much verbatim here, it's going to go over and see if it's got a skill on file ready to use for that. So we're going to let it cook and do its thing there and come back and see what it comes up with later. I did this a couple days ago to create this aim and control voice skill up here. But what I want to show you also is that you can take some of the plugins available for Claude Cowork, and you can actually get the skills that are inside of them and use them in here. So what am I talking about? Well, Claude has come up with these financial service plugins for Cowork. So we got all these plugins, and I spoke about this recently. We got an analysis plugin, an investment banking plugin, equity research, private equity. So all these things are plugins if you're using Claude Cowork. Well, I don't want to use Claude Cowork. I just want to use Claude or Claude Code. I want to use the skills behind the scenes. So inside of financial services plugins, this is the Git repository for it, the GitHub repository that is, you can actually go into each one of these plugins. I'm going to go to the financial analysis plugin and then check it out. Right here, we've got a skills folder for all these different skills that are inside that plugin. So the plugin is just a collection of skills. Let's go inside the three statement skill, and we'll open up this skill MD file. You know what? Let's just download that raw file and then go back here, and it looks like we have references available also. So we're going to download these. I'm just going to do them one at a time. I should have cloned the repository, but whatever. We'll do this the manual way, and then we'll throw them into a folder and I'll zip them up, and I'll show you how we get them into Claude. All right, so we got the three reference files. We got the skill MD file. Those should be over here. Yep, there they are on my desktop. We need a new folder, and we'll name that what? Financial analysis. And then we're just going to put everything inside of there, except we want to break out, was it references? Yeah. We need a references folder for everything except for the skill MD. So I'm going to put those references in there, and what the references are, it's just like formatting guidelines and stuff. Stuff for the skill itself to be able to reference. So here's what that sheet looks like for formatting guidelines. Okay, so we've got all of this inside of this one financial services folder. The last step is that we need to compress it into a zip file, and then it'll appear right here as a zip file on our desktop. Let's go back into Claude here. And now under skills, we can click add, upload skill, and we can just drop that zip file right in there. So there's financial analysis.zip, uploaded 3 statements. So we got this skill right here. Check that out. We've got our references, we've got our skill MD, all of this. And let's go ahead and open up a new chat. Please use the financial analysis skill to create a 3-statement financial statement. Just use dummy data. Doesn't have to be complicated. Just prove that you can do a great job with the skill I gave you. We'll hit enter, let that cook. And while that's cooking up something good, we'll go back here and see what it did on this skill. All right, so now we've got all of this right here. Let's open the code version, and it did successfully format this with YAML formatting up here at the top. This is something that it previously didn't do when I chatted with it. So this is part of the upgrade that they needed to upgrade just some basic stuff to get it to do the format that it itself wants to see. All right, so we've got that. Now let's just, oh, look at this. Copy to your skills. So we don't even have to go through the fuss of going down onto our desktop and zipping and everything. We can copy it straight to our skills right there. I don't think that was available previously. I think that's a upgrade, but it also could be something I completely overlooked when I've done this in days past. Let me know in the comments if that was dumb aiming or if that was really missing previously. Okay, let's go back to skills. Let's refresh this page and see what it's come up with and check it out. We've got YouTube to social. Here's our skill. All right, I didn't even proofread this at all, but let's just go see if it works. Let's go to my YouTube page. Let's go to the most recent video that posted, I think this morning. Let's open this up, cut off in this. Let's pause it, and then let's get the transcript. Let's open up one more tab and say, use my YouTube to social skill to create 3 posts for my latest YouTube video. Here is the transcript. And then I'm going to paste in the transcript of that video and we'll let it cook while we go back to the 3-statement financial analysis. All right, so we have up here income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. We're going to go ahead and open that in Drive in an actual spreadsheet and see if it's all linked up correctly. All right, I don't want that there, go away. All right, so we've got some made up numbers, gross profit, easily calculated, gross margin. All right, that's fine, that's fine. Got some expenses down here, sum of expenses, EBIT, operating income, okay, margin, EBITDA, yep, plus depreciation, EBITDA margin. Okay, that's fine. All right, so basic income statement. Balance sheet. Let's see if we've got that pulling in. I don't see this pulling it in anywhere. All right, so that's going into the cash flow, but not the balance sheet. So the balance sheet doesn't work. And here's the result of that social post generator. So it took the transcript. It was a short 5-minute video, and it's created by default a LinkedIn post, a single tweet, and an X thread. Oh, and then an Instagram caption. I've just started using skills. Previous to this, I had only been using project instructions and custom files. This is just a more direct way to tell Claude how to do a specific thing that's going to be repeatable. So if I'm making posts all the time and I want a social media post skill like this one, it came up with these posts after it thought about it for a little bit. And it needs tweaking because I don't necessarily want just these platforms to be posted onto. But if I want a repeatable thing like this, which I do in my business, then skills are the way to go. Creating my own, customizing them is the way to go. Do you think you will actually use stuff like this? Let me know in the comments below. I also have a free newsletter where we talk about AI strategy and automations for businesses. You can subscribe for that for free below as well. Talk to you next time.